Hey folks, welcome to another episode of Indie Spotlight Network. Again, we're here in the green room backstage, and we've got two incredible guests with us today. First, we have Mr. Justin Perry. He is the owner of Lucid Reality Productions, and we also have Mr. Tanner Lagasca with us. And I can't even begin to tell you how much stuff that this man has brought to the industry. But let's start things off. So Justin, actually, our viewers may not know this, but you guys are the ones that actually produce and edit this show.
Yes, we do.
All right, so tell us a little bit more about how that works.
Well, the process is actually pretty complicated, but it involves a lot of time and a lot of effort and several people working on it. But for the most part, it's just a big team effort, and it comes down to being meticulous. I mean, some of the same things a lot of people say in the industry of preparation and detail-oriented. But that's really what it comes down to, and just making sure everyone understands their place. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a big key too. So if I start asking you questions, everything goes crazy. You know, but yeah.
Now, Tanner, I'm going to allow you to give us the opportunity of what you do because you do so much for the industry.
Yes, I am an actor. I'm an acting coach. I'm a director. I am the founder of Actors Training Ground here in Raleigh, and I'm also the author of the book, The Portable Acting Coach.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So how did you get started, Justin, in this whole industry thing?
Oh, wow. Wow. I guess it all starts for a lot of people when you're younger. You see something, or, you know, I was in theater for a little bit when I was younger, and I really just liked the team effort, the interaction. You know, I played a lot of sports when I was younger too, and it's not the same element, but it is. People talk about going on set and getting a feeling. Mm-hmm. Well, that's the group effort. You know, that's the team mentality. And then when I moved to Raleigh, I got an agent. I just decided to get an agent, and eventually I had to move to Wilmington because most of my jobs were down there. So it kind of just, it progresses. Everyone progresses. I didn't go to school for it, but, you know, apprenticeships can be taught in many ways. So.
Right, absolutely. What about you, Tanner? How'd you get started?
I was not very well liked in high school. You know, I was short, like 4'3" or something, and so I didn't fit in. So I used theater as a way to do something. Mm-hmm. And then after I graduated from high school and I was doing community theater, and this is in California, I was thinking about going to school, and I'm very competitive. And these two kids that I was doing a show with auditioned for the school and they didn't get in. And I said to myself, if you didn't get in, I bet I could get in. So I applied for the school and got in, and that's what started my journey into education. So from there, I went to school in California, Santa Maria, at the Pacific Conservatory for the Performing Arts. Then I moved to Chicago for 8 years, where I got my undergrad at Roosevelt University, and then I moved to New York and got my master's at the Actors Studio Drama School in New York. So that's where I started. I mean, well, accumulated, but that's where it kind of started. And I've just been, like, you know, working ever since, not only as an actor, but as a teacher, you know, directing, working with summer camps for underprivileged children in New York. So I really have just experienced everything, you know. In fact, I even got to work in South Korea for 3 years, teaching English through theater, where I developed a 3-week training program for non-native English-speaking teachers to learn how to act and produce a show.
That's amazing.
That's pretty good. That's pretty awesome. Justin, as far as the projects that you guys have going on right now, tell us a little bit more about those.
Well, being a production company, there's always several projects going on. Music videos. We're in post-production for our own feature film right now called In the Pines, and it is a very long process, as most feature films are. So we filmed last June. We wrapped about July, August time. And since then, we've been in post-production. We also have a soundtrack for the film going on, all local artists, all local musicians. And we try to stick as local as possible. We really wanted to motivate the local market in North Carolina. And a lot of stuff's shifting towards Georgia, but eventually it'll shift back here. It's just the way of the world. So we, a couple of music videos actually, Urban Soil's Gotta Go, which is one of our better music videos right now, which is getting decent hits on YouTube. But it's, I think for us, for a lot of our projects, the ability to highlight artists or local musicians or actors and kind of help them out, because it's really hard when you first start out. You really don't know where to go, what to do. And a lot of what we talk about is giving advice, how to do it. Right. So just to be able to help people accomplish their dreams is fun. It's great.
That is fantastic. That's really good. What about you, Tanner? You've got a lot going on right now?
I have a lot going on, actually. I am teaching right now. I'm teaching young actors, and I'm teaching adults. And I'm teaching the young actors at Raleigh Area Children's Theater, and I'm teaching the adults at Lucid Reality Productions here in downtown Raleigh. And those classes are on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And also, I am doing a show in May. I'm working with Seed Art Share to they're bringing Shakespeare's Midsummer's Night Dream to the Rose Garden at RLT. So it's really exciting. I'm playing Snout in that. It's a small role, but you know what? I'll own it. I will own it. No, I mean seriously. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't care what role I get because I will make it all mine, and it'll be fun to be memorable. I also just finished last year writing a book, The Portable Acting Coach. That is not me, by the way, just so you know. Okay, just so everyone know. But it's available at Amazon.com. So it's a great book. It's really useful, and I wrote it with the idea that an beginning actor will read it and get enough information to say, hey, I want to take a class on this. It's written for the advanced actor who's taken classes and said, I need to refresh my memory on this. Right. They read it and go, got it. And it's for the teacher who wants to use it as a supplement, who says, like, after reading Uta Hagen or Stanislavski or something, and says, okay, now that was the hard way, not hard way, but the more learned way of looking at it. Now here's the more easier approach with the same principles behind it. So it's written for those three in mind. That's it's great. But that's what I'm doing right now. It's really exciting. I've got I just finished filming 2 short little pilots for Dean Garris with Dino Productions. So I'm keeping busy for sure. Cool. Yeah. But it's for the passion of it, the love of it.
And Tanner did just start teaching classes at Lucid Reality Productions, and it is amazing to watch him work with the actors. That's cool. They definitely learn. You can kind of watch their progression through the class system, and it's really interesting. It's a new world for me. I've done a lot of workshops and different things, but to watch an 8-week or 10-week course and kind of see them progress, it's fun to watch. It's fun to watch.
It is. I mean, I see them growing. I've never taught a class where I never saw someone not grow. It's amazing. I mean, everyone always grows. Even if it's just them understanding one principle behind acting, the fact that they got it is great. And every actor who comes to take the class from me, they are, not everyone has the same experience or same level. Right. And so I handle each student differently. So if someone who's more advanced, I might talk to them a little bit differently than someone who's just beginning, so that I don't make that one feel like they're like over the, being oh my God, overwhelmed, and the advanced actor is going, oh God, I'm being talked down to, right? It's a very fine line. Yeah, so but I love it. I love watching the actors grow every time. It's amazing.
Tanner has the amazing ability. We talk about this a lot in the industry, being able to free your mind and kind of free who you are. He does a great job of allowing them to access the free parts of their mind. And instead of coming in to say, I am Shakespeare, I'm going to play this character, or I am, whoever, he does it where it doesn't, like you said, it doesn't matter what character he gets, he's going to own it. It could be any character in the world, he's still going to own it.
That's awesome. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Justin, if you would Where do you see Lucid Reality headed? What do you want to do with that?
I think we really want to provide people an ability to reach their dreams, to kind of help them to reach a different level. You know, where are we going? Who knows? The future. That's the beauty of future possibility. You never know. We could do a huge Hollywood film, or I'm just as happy staying in North Carolina and making the best films in North Carolina. But to give access to people who don't have access. If I had all the money in the world, I would make sure that every actor or every musician or every artist in town and in the state would have an avenue to reach where they want to go. Of course, money becomes the big issue in the real world, you know. But when we dream, we forget about all that. So to have people and have access and have a studio, it's pretty amazing to do that.
And Tanner, where do you see yourself?
Well, one, I'm hoping that I can get more work in North Carolina right now as an actor. You know, I'm more into theater than film, so I'm starting to get into the film thing. But I love acting for film. I'm hoping that Actors Training Ground will also start making some progress. My goal is to make Actors Training Ground another alternate for people to study, not just with the theaters that are already here, but with someone who is living the life of an actor, one who has gone through the struggles, who is like constantly trying to make things work. And you know, I've lived the life of you know, touring theater and not having money for jobs, you know, for anything. So the fact that I'm teaching these classes to say, look, you can do it, and you can be professional, and you can be the best you can be, you know, and not be famous, not be known, you know. And you have to do that for the love of theater or film. You don't do that because you want to be rich. You do it because you just love it. You know, there's a passion for it. So that's what I'm hoping that I can do in the next 3 years with Actors Training Ground, is train actors to be like that. And as for an actor, hoping I can get more work as well. So.
If somebody brand new wants to get into the industry, and they're coming to you and say, let me know, what do I do?
Say to them is, if you can do something else other than acting, do it. Because acting is not for the faint of heart. You put so much into it and you sacrifice so much that you really have to be crazy to be in this business. And as much as you have the dreams of, I'm going to be that one who makes it rich or whatever, odds are that's not going to happen. And you just have to have that passion and that drive and just the flowing blood of an actor in you to pursue it, you know, because it's not going to happen overnight. If they decide that they are going to do it, okay, yes, then I would say to network. And that's one of the biggest things to do. Because if you don't network, you will not make the connections you need to make. I'm teaching at Lucid Reality Productions because I met Justin here during a production of Displaced, which was done on New Year's Eve here in Raleigh for first night, which was done by Renee Wimberly of Cedar Share, who I met when I did the show Frost Nixon when for Just a Theater Project, when I auditioned for them for another show and they didn't have someone for that role and asked me. It all played.
Networking,
if I did not audition for that show 2 years ago, I would not be here right now working for Lucid Reality Productions. So see, everything is connected. So I would just say,
I'm so glad you brought up Displaced too, because that was a project that we allowed the ability to live theater and also videos, and we integrated a lot of things. It was a crazy to pull off. Don't get me wrong. It was all in one night, a few hours. But I mean, what, 3-4 months of pre-production essentially. But those projects are so much fun to work on, where you get 20, 30, 40, 50 professionals who want to do it all together.
And we did it in 3 days. Rehearsal was 3 days.
You guys.
Tech was one time only.
Yeah.
And then we ran it for New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
So it was fantastic.
It was amazing. It was
That
amazing.
is always good. Well, guys, I thank you so much for coming out here today and for being a part of this. It's really greatly appreciated.
And thank you very much as well.
Thank you, Ron.
Appreciate
This
it.
is great.
Absolutely. That's what this whole thing is about, is so that the folks out there can see what we're trying to accomplish in this area, so that it's a lot more going on than what they may know about.
Right.
So we just want to open their eyes and give the opportunity for guys like you to be spotlighted into it.
Great.
Thanks.
So,
Thank you again.
no problem.
Thank you.
Put down your gun!
Stop! Stop it! Stop it! You won't shut up!
You know who needs to lose the attitude? Take a guess. Who needs to lose the attitude?
Okay, you have done nothing.
You have 2 guesses.
You think I have an attitude?
And you have 10 seconds. 10
One.
seconds and 2 guesses.
Yes. 1, 2, 3.
You know what I might do?
Oh, please tell me.
I might take my sword and chop your head off.
Good. Okay. What's gonna? What should I do first? I'm thinking. What should I do first? Should I shoot you in the head, or should I shoot this person over here because I think that they might shit themselves?
How about listen? Are you listening?
I'm trying.
Okay, you lost the guessing game. Remember that?
Right.
You lost that.
Okay.
Now, would you also like to lose your head? Because I chop it off.
Okay, you've got a, would you call that a sword?
No, I would not call it a sword.
Would you call it, what, a
What-
big
what
knife
would you
with
call?
a wooden
What would you?
handle?
What would you call that?
It looks like a Ginsu knife. Okay, I've got a gun. I have a gun. Okay?
Would you
So
call that a gun?
I would call it a, you're dead when I pull the trigger.
You gonna what? What you gonna do?
You-
What you gonna do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
Okay.
What you gonna do?
By the time you swing that, all I gotta do is go click. So I pull the trigger and then you're dead.
Okay,
Before
look,
you even
look,
do anything.
look.
What am I looking at?
Hello? Hello? Yes. What? What? Because, what? I'm gonna... No. You call me. Look, I'm gonna have to go. Because I gotta... You know what I gotta do? Listen, it's my business, okay? You just call... Bye.
I never met anybody like you. I've never met anyone like you.
Listen, gun down. Actually, give me the gun. Give me the gun.
I'll give you the gun if you give me...
You give me the gun
Yeah?
and give me. I'd like the gun and say a coupon for a dinner somewhere.
Okay, I'll give you the gun if you give me a buy one, get one free cornbread.
You give me the gun, I give you the cornbread. Deal?
Who's gonna get your sword? Who?
I'm keeping the sword.
Nope.
You give me the gun.
Done deal.
I give you the cornbread.
Nope. Ain't gonna happen.
Okay, I got a better idea.
Oh, okay.
I keep the cornbread, I chop your head off.
Okay, I bet I got an even better idea. I shoot you in the head, and I take the sword, and I
Hey,
shove it in you.
why don't you just shoot yourself in the head? And then I eat the cornbread.
Why can't we be friends? You took out the sword, I had the gun. I wasn't doing anything with the gun. You're like, hey, look at me, I got a sword. I'm gonna do my thing on the swing and scare people.
Oh, you know what I'm hearing from you? I'm hearing, hey, come chop my damn head off and eat my cornbread. That's what I'm hearing.
What is wrong with you?
I'll tell you what's wrong with me, okay? I got a sword that's made for chopping heads off, and I got a head, and for some reason I ain't chopped it off yet.
Don't threaten me, because I will hurt you.
Look at this right here. You see this? This is a cornbread. That is one of the finest cornbreads in the land. And, you know who's not gonna eat it? You ain't gonna eat it!
I will eat it.
What the hell's that mean? You gonna let me chop your damn head off and then put it in your mouth and then pop out your neck hole in the
It
bottom?
looks good, okay, but does it taste good?
I could have already chopped your head off and been down by the river catching fishes.
Do you want my gun or not?
Holy crap,
I give
man.
you the gun. And you'll give me that cornbread?
That's what I'm saying.
I gotta like the cornbread.
You gonna like the cornbread?
If I like the cornbread, I'll give you my gun.
There's no question of liking the cornbread. Of course you
Fine,
gonna
then
like
let
the
me taste
cornbread.
it.
Here, taste the cornbread.
That's good. That's good corn.
Big surprise. Big surprise,
I
ain't
didn't
it?
think it'd be good enough.
I know you didn't think that.
That's good cornbread.
I know the cornbread's good. That was
Give
never.
you my gun. You give me the cornbread.
All right. Here you go. This is your cornbread now.
Thank you.
Give me that gun.
Dear.
I like this gun. It ain't bad. Not as good as that cornbread. You got a good deal.
This is good cornbread.
Hey, I gotta go, okay? Cause I can't be talking to you all day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye!
Just multiple organizations and reorganizations of the same set of puzzle pieces over and over and over again. My name is George Shear. I'm collaborative director of Elsewhere Artist Collaborative. My grandmother is Sylvia Gray, who ran the space from 1939 to 1997. It's big. It's constantly collapsing on itself. Things are falling over all the time, as objects tend to do. It's 2 full storefronts, which is divided into multiple little tinier spaces, little hovels and small spots. The store itself began in 1939. It started actually a furniture store. And then in the 40s and 50s, they got involved in Army surplus catalog sales. Trucks would come down the back alley and they would lift the pup tents and whatnot to the 3rd floor where they'd mend them and fix them and prepare them to be sent out. Some of the surplus was drying up by that point. And so she began to get the ends of fabric bolts from the local mills and ended up collecting about 1,500 bolts of vintage fabric. She was known to shop at the Salvation Army and Goodwill twice a day. As things began to sort of pile up, it just became this massive heap that was almost inconquerable. And she would sit here among the things every day, sort of as this treasure or castle that she had. If you came in and you knew what you wanted, she knew where it was and she would find it for you. If you didn't know what you wanted, then she probably had no interest in you browsing. I mean, you have to imagine it was like a foot aisleway through the entire place. To have someone come in and move something around like that was her entire ordering system, so it would throw everything off for her. These people came in and had found a Beatles White Album that they wanted really badly and tried to barter with her for the price, and eventually she took a black marker and just drew across the front of the cover of the album, and sort of that was the end of it. She was a tough woman. She couldn't speak well. She'd had cancer in the 80s and had actually lost much of her face. She loved hats, and so I would help her sell these hats, and then no one ever bought anything. And then I'd go home and I'd get like a little check in the mail that says, "Oh, so and so came back, wanted to buy a hat. Here's $200," which is really lovely. When she passed away in 1997, it sat, and no one really had any idea what to do with it. So that's sort of the beginning of the modern history, as it were. In 2003, we came down and just began excavating, going through, organizing, moving things around. A lot of this project is an exploration of things, of consumer cultural surplus, but also of how her mind worked and imagined. She would wrap objects together in little sandwich baggies. You'd almost think she was a drug dealer. There were so many sandwich baggies around. Speaking of sandwich baggies, more sandwich baggies with her name written on it, as if she was going to lose the sandwich baggie. She wrote her name on the sandwich baggie and then did some math on the side as well. All the best clothing doesn't have any buttons on it because she's cut it off. You probably can't smell this in the video, but if you want to take a whiff, just a slight whiff. Careful. Yeah, that is the smell of preservation. All these little bits of her handwriting, of her obsessive ordering patterns, of the bags of things, of the jars of buttons. There came a point where we realized we needed to preserve some of that. We created this space called the Natural History Museum, sort of playing with the idea of a natural history being something that comes out of human tendencies towards order and collection and preservation. It sort of looks like a store, which is, again, one of the lines that we like to play with. It's that store where nothing's for sale. And there was a lot of argument that, like, we just need to clear everything out, or we need to sell it, or we need to move it over to the other side and, like, make space for people to do art. We look for artists that have a formulated body of work. They have some similarity with the materials that we have available, and or the architectures that are here. This is what we call sprucing generally, where you might take a group of objects and randomly begin arranging them into various orders and compositions, sculptural and whatnot. Offer that as a backdrop there.
So what we're witnessing right now is just art being created.
It is just art happening live. Behind you is Super Piano Bouncy Ball.
Starting to get the impression this is just really like your fun house.
It is very much a fun house. It's like a big playground for adults. When we have artists here, we run a food cooperative. It's all vegetarian, totally brilliant stuff. People, and we will have any given night anywhere from like 12 to 20 people eating dinner every night, which is pretty amazing.
Why vegetarian?
Easier, it's cheaper. I mean, a lot of our artists tend to be vegetarians, so it's just crazy hippies. Yeah. Occasionally we'll have meat club or like crab club, and people will sort of pool separate monies. Dessert club is a big one. People will pool additional money to make a pie or something like that. This is an old blueprint of the back alley.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, these are different. These are things that I'd talk up to Minneapolis with me when I was building an upside down boat. This is our worm composting. Let's see what we got here. Where are the worms? Hey guys. I hope they last the winter. Hey guys. Well. Oh yeah. I'm just getting started.
So guys, once again, thank you very much for joining us. And if you would, go to our website, indiespotlightnetwork.com, and you will find out more about these guys. There's some great things that they are doing, and we want you to be a part of that. Thank you again, and have a great day.